They have the hard-hitting analysis.
I'm anti-injury, so maybe this won't work out.
Kyler's only playing one tight end this week, so that's probably going to help him out a lot.
They tell it like it is.
That's not what I needed, Grandma Nut.
All right, the hipster fantasy player.
I don't do anything.
Their listeners love them.
Found all your charts boring, to be frank. Caitlin was the star of the show.
They break down all the statistics.
20 points. That doesn't quite add up. Maybe he had 93.
This is the Snick Snack Sports Podcast.
Here we... All right, Snickers, help me out.
What's going on, all you fantasy football fans out there? Welcome back to another week of the Snick Snack Sports Fantasy Football Podcast. How are we doing today, Nate? Like the crown?
I'm great, Snickers. How are you?
I'm doing great. I have more wins than you do, and that's all that matters, right? Because we're rivals.
Yeah, is it too early to declare myself league champion? I'm not sure. But that's
I
hence
would
the
say
crown.
so. I think you need to get at least 4 wins before you can do that.
Well, calling it now. I have 0 wins, 4 losses, but I feel a comeback coming on. And yeah, feeling good about the league this year, my team. Um, we've got a lot to get into today. We got Nick Adams on the show. Don't know if he's going to be doing anything rivalry related, but looking forward to see what he has to say. But let's take a quick look at the standings to start the show. So what do we have going on here in the leaderboard, Nick?
Yeah, we got Carson and Katie. Historically, teams that are, both, I'd say it's streaky. Very happy for both of them there, right at the top. They're doing well, both scoring a lot of points and both not getting a lot of points scored against them. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, and meanwhile we have Kyle, myself, and John at 0 and 4. There was a little bit of drama there when all of a sudden the last game of the week didn't count for a second, which I
Yeah.
think saved both Kyle and John for a minute. But it wasn't meant to be. Kenny got his win, which is well deserved. But yeah, if we look at um, the standings, John is well behind in points 4.
We were talking about
I'm way
that.
down there as well.
John looks like he's getting unlucky, while you and Kyle, your own words, have bad teams. Is that true?
Yeah, I will say, yeah, looking at John's team, his team should not be scoring an average of 78 points a week. That doesn't make sense. His team might be bad, but it's not that bad.
Hmm.
And I was just also looking at the luck factor here. If we were to rank this by points against, Kyle has been very unlucky in that category. And that really stands out actually amongst the rest because there's a pack otherwise.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm just looking at myself. I'm middle of the pack in all the categories here, but that's because you scored 75 points against me and Shane scored 135 points against me. So it's really
yeah.
fun to look at when we're so early in the season. You're not even 100 points off of Carson here. You can catch up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm basically in the top of the league in points 4.
Top 20. That's what I
But
was aiming for. Yeah.
um yeah, and now related topic, we have our chump bet. I bet Ducky last week. You bet Nick Adams. How did that work out?
It was a close game. Yeah, they were about double. One was double the other one's score. But yeah, Ducky did get horrible last week. Very low score with 76 points or something like that. So
Yeah,
you hit it on the head, 3 points.
yeah, got the 3 points. We were texting back and forth. It was me, you, Kyle, and Nick that were in contention
And
for
John,
being chumped going in,
or
and
that
well,
doesn't
John had
count.
already been chumped.
Right.
So the other 4 of us were kind of battling it out for who would be the new chump this week going into the Monday night games. And
Yeah.
then he got the negative defense on top of the negative kicker and couldn't come back from that.
I saw that because Ducky didn't have anyone playing Monday, if I remember correctly, or he didn't have any non-skill positions playing Monday, and then he got like minus 3 or 4 points, and that pushed him back down to the bottom.
Yeah, it was rough. Meanwhile, Nick Adams, who is going to join us momentarily, was number one in the league
Yeah,
this
so I
week.
was, I was only off by 10.
So that puts the standing for me and you in the bet at me three, you one. Also have to issue apology to Kyle. He had in fact chosen John as the chump a dump dump. 2 weeks ago, we had missed that in the tally, so he does have a point for those who are participating in just the chump off in general. And
Yeah.
now I also have a point. Um, so just remember you can't chump twice. So Nick and John will not be in future chump polls, which we'll release this evening. It'll all be in one poll now, so that's been nice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that
don't worry,
nobody in the
we're
second
keeping
poll
track
got
of
any
everyone's
votes.
score. So we got you. Just keep voting, keep scoring. It's a fun game here.
Yeah. And now let's get a little bit into the news around the real NFL.
Yeah, there's a couple big injuries this week. Obviously, Joe Burrow, turf toe, got another one. The AJ Green disease is going to be out until December, they're saying. I think people can
Yikes.
probably drop him. Don't know if he's going to play again this year, and the Bengals are going to suck, unfortunately. Sorry, Carson, that you got cursed with Jamar Chase there. But JJ McCarthy out for 2 weeks with a knee. Aaron Jones and the Vikings out for 4-ish weeks with a hamstring. The entire offensive line for the Vikings, everyone in the Vikings is out. Justin Fields got a concussion, he's out. Christian Kirk is coming back, maybe. And yeah, other than Joe Burrow, there weren't any devastating injuries here, so we're moving forward strong into week 3.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't hear about the JJ McCarthy news. Brutal for the Vikings. Already off to a bit of a slow start with last week being pretty yucky. Um, but now as we transition to thinking about talking a little bit about last week's games and looking ahead, we will have our guests join the show. Yeah, welcome to the show, Nick. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me. Can't complain. Really can't complain. I mean, except for the loss to Kenny that I can complain about.
Yeah, but you were
Yeah,
brave. You chugged your beer. You chugged an IPA. You posted it, and everyone saw it. You were strong. You're
I did.
you're in third
I
place.
did. Shotgunned an IPA because that's, what was available. And for anyone else I'm playing any week, open to the same bet or another one. I mean,
Mm,
I'm flexible. I'm
yeah,
confident that I'm gonna win anyway. I mean, the Kenny week one was a fluke.
yeah.
Can't win them all. I mean, yeah, I guess you can, but not
no
this
one
year for
has.
me.
And yeah, you've heard it here second, but challenge Nick. He will take you on. And I
I
appreciate the
will.
example you're setting. Obviously, as you get older, shotgunning only gets easier. And so you've chosen to up the ante with the IPA. So
Yeah,
appreciate that.
going to IPAs. That was I think a 7%, but we got room to grow. We can go higher. We could go pounders. We could go above that. I'm
Yeah.
open to challenges, but whoever challenges me has to be prepared to lose.
Yeah, no, I want to see people breaking out those Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Stout, tall boys.
11%. There we go. Yeah.
I am very much an IPA man. I am not a stout man. That may kill me, but I'm
I
open.
mean, IPAs go up pretty high, but I don't think they can reach the heights of the alcohol percentage of the stouts. So,
15 to 20%, no. I mean on the very high end.
and maybe we
Uh,
should start looking at, really whiskey is just beer with more alcohol in it, right? I mean, could they sell cans of whiskey?
you
Sure.
know, we could figure it out.
I'm
Nate,
sure
they'll
we
probably
could.
do it in Japan. That would be my first guess. Did you find any whiskey cans in Japan?
I did not see that, but perhaps wasn't looking hard enough.
Hmm.
Um, but Nick, I thought it would be worth um, taking a quick look at the scoreboard from last week. You actually, if you recall, were the pick to be chumped by our other friend Nick here.
Yeah,
Um,
some disrespect.
and the disrespect. And embarrassingly enough, you were the number one guy on the week.
Yeah, like I'm
So
saying.
why don't you break it down for us, this 136 point win here?
I mean, we had some. I mean, I may get into some other stuff, but we had a slight change in scoring for this year. So consistency is king.
Mm.
But if you can be both consistent and good, I mean, what else is there to say? My team, they're all studs. They performed. I picked them because they perform. I never had any doubt, and the fact that I was picked as a chump is absolute disrespect, and probably shows an amount of incompetence on Nick's part.
Yeah, I got a point from the chump bet last week, so I'll take my hit here. You do have a I'd say, very safe team, it looks like. You don't have anyone that's necessarily super boomer bust.
Yeah, that was kind of the ideas. I mean, I do I don't love T. Higgins. He's a little boomer bust, but I think Travis Kelce was slept on. Everyone else solid performers, so I don't see how I could be I mean, I understand, but I don't see how you pick me as a big loser for a week.
Yeah.
I think a lot
Uh,
of it was to do with Kenneth Walker not looking good in week one, and obviously the perception is very different now, but he did look scary
Kenneth
after
Walker
his
didn't look good week one. T. Higgins didn't look good week one, and may actually be uh, probably worse going forward, seeing that Joe Burrow's down for probably the season now.
yeah. No, that's very sad. We already poured one out for Joe earlier, but
Oh, I
looking at
didn't because he's
your
in my division. So
bench there on your Steelers fan, you're a big believer in Caleb Johnson?
I, I was. I'm still holding him. I think he's been misused by the Steelers, but
You
I
don't think he
think
should be
he
returning
could
punts or
he could
kickoffs?
still break out.
Yeah.
I still have faith. I'm not willing to drop him. I think if I do drop him, he's probably going to be on somebody else's bench very quickly. So I'm not I'm not ready to let him go, and he could be a solid keeper as well.
Mm.
Yeah, these rookies need some more time for sure. But let's look ahead to this week. And the first question I have is, who is this week's chump? And I'll let you go first, Nick. Let's put you on the spot because I know you probably haven't thought about it yet. Who's chumping us this week?
Put me on the spot for this. I have not thought about that. Who's chumping us this week? You know what? I don't need to think about it. It's Kenny.
Mm. Kenny used
Every
to be
week is
chump.
Kenny. Kenny sucks.
Mhm. He only gets to chump once, but this is going to be his week, huh?
Yeah. I I I
All
don't
right,
think
tell
he's
me why.
got it.
Yeah, his projection's not
Tell,
looking great there. He only has three advantages.
But I mean, if you rely on projections, then I mean, it gives you kind of, I'll say, a baseline, but you can't put too much faith in that.
Mm.
Going down his list, I do actually like the Baker Mayfield pick. Gene T, I think I mean, he's a rookie, could have a down week. Javonte Williams, he plays for Dallas, enough said. Mike Evans, and also a Tampa Bay player. Tampa Bay has been coming from behind. Uh, so maybe they'll have a down week. Puka Nacua, I mean, probably fine. Can't put too much on that. The rest of it, Kincaid, Henry had a terrible week. I hope
Mm.
that continues. Eagles suck, and Dicker's a kicker, so he's probably not going to do much for him. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of. This is more of a feels pick than a logic pick.
bad mojo going on Kenny's team.
Yeah.
I like it. Snickers, who's chumping for you?
I was going back and forth on a couple, but I'm going to your game, Nate, and I'm going to choose you as this week's chump.
I thought you were gonna pick me
I
again.
see.
I'm looking at the scores, and John's already taken, and your offense has not been clicking at all. I think that there's a good chance you're starting Cam Scatterbo, who is not a starting running back, which is bold decision. Kyron Williams broke his touchdown streak. I don't know. I think Quentin Johnston's probably your best player. So I'm choosing you, Nate.
That is a shock because after the 2 week handicap, I think as Nick you pointed out in the chat just before this episode, um,
I may
my
have been a little
handicap is well
mean.
recognized
Yes.
around the league as and I'm all up from here. I have
Hmm.
the number one wide receiver in the whole league in Malik Neighbors. I also have the number 16 quarterback in the whole league in Kyler Murray. So those are two people that stand out to me as
Number 16
supporting me.
quarterback in a 12-person league.
It definitely stands out, but not in a good way.
Kyler obviously has good things coming for him. I do not regret drafting him at all. Um, and yeah, obviously Hawk's going to be great. He's number 44 right now, which is not bad, but he'll be better. And
44 at tight end. Are there 44 tight ends in the National Football League?
I was not aware there
um,
were.
my team is in a good spot. A lot of young guys.
Oh yeah.
Henderson at running back, he'll be better. I'm not going to play him this week, but he'll win the job, just like
Yeah.
Scatabo. And yeah, I will be chumping Katie, who is
Hmm.
currently second, but look at her team. Hot trash. They're playing the Rams, the Eagles are this week, and so I think that that is bold for to expect anything out of that offense. The Rams are back is a good defense. Um, yeah, and taking revenge on her defeat or her victory over me last week,
Oh yeah.
calling her to jump.
Ooh, that's a house rivalry right there too. Katie and Matt. You think
Yeah,
Matt's
this is a
gonna
good
take
matchup.
you think Matt's gonna take the W over Katie?
What do you think, Snickers?
Yeah, I mean, I know we're not in the segment yet, but this is actually my matchup of the week to watch because I think that they're both, not going to do that well this week. I know Katie got the number one tight end. Tucker Kraft's not going to stay number one all year. Against Brock Bowers, who should be the best if he's not hurt. I think there's a lot of injury and, kind of attitude problems on Matt's team there. So I think that could be a little bit rough going for him. But yeah, I think I'm going for that Katie gets the win just so that she can't possibly be the chump and trying to outsmart you there.
Nice. Yeah, I think that that is a good transition into just kind of matchups of the week. And you're calling Katie here, Snickers.
Mm.
Um, and Big Adams. Who are you calling here? You might have mentioned it, but tell us again.
I actually think Matt's gonna win this week. I think Katie's team had a good couple weeks, but looking down her roster, they're all good players, but they're relatively, I say, besides Jalen and Saquon, they seem pretty fragile at their positions. Like Devo's in Washington. I
Mm.
don't know that he's put up decent numbers so far. Hollywood Brown, Tucker Craft is tight end one, but I agree that I don't think that's going to stick. DeAndre Swift in Chicago. I mean, Chicago is just generally bad, but
Mm.
I'm usually a DeAndre Swift believer, but he's getting pretty old, and I don't know that they can lean on him that hard. They're playing Dallas as well, who is a decent defense. I think Katie's probably gonna catch a loss this week. I think Matt probably takes this one.
Mm.
No, I totally agreed, obviously, because I think Kay's going to chump. But besides her, yeah, her quarterback and her first running back, she's got a very a team you cannot count on. I mean, they've boomed for her. She had, I think, the sixth place just above the threshold for a win last week. I think the threshold we didn't mention before was the same. I think it was about 103, 104 points to get the win versus the league. But Matt's team, I think, he actually seems pretty loaded at the moment, in my opinion, with Travis Etienne. Um, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be playing better than he was, although I think that's where the attitude issues you were alluding to, Snickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt's team
Um,
definitely is projected highly, which I don't put a whole lot of faith in usually, but Yeah, it's a 7 point swing on projection. Usually, I think it's only a couple points. I don't tend to go with the projection, but yeah, I think Matt definitely is a solid team and probably well, he means 2-2. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
hasn't
he has room to grow.
yeah.
Yeah. And Nate, I'm wondering, are you just picking Katie as a jump of the week because we're talking to her this weekend and she said she wishes that you were her rival?
Sickers, that would be petty for me to do it for that reason. And I'm a very petty person. So yes, that's exactly why I'm choosing her this week. And she beat me this week. So double.
The double whammy.
Um, now my matchup of the week is um actually one of the ones that you've started to highlight for us already, Nick, in Kenny versus Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle's had a really slow start to the year. His projections are not bad this week, and ESPN has him ranked as the 12th in power rankings. And I'm interested to see on his team, will Tataroa McMillan continue to perform really strongly? Dak Prescott, I think, is underperforming right now. And I think Chase Brown will have to take on more of a role. You could argue that he's hurt because of his quarterback being gone, but they may be giving him the ball more is the alternative narrative. Um,
That
so I think he has a
is a great observation. I would tend to agree.
Mm.
so I think he pulls one out this week, gets his first win or wins now that we've got two up on for grabs. What do you guys think?
I'm looking at Kenny's team. I've been looking at him all week because Javonte Williams is the number 4 running back 2 weeks in a row, and he was on Kenny's bench 2 weeks in a row. And so that's probably why he's 3-1 and not 4-0. But he put him in and replaced Derrick Henry. So it's gonna be a bold decision if Javonte can keep this up, then Kenny might be onto something. If he can't keep it up, then Kenny's gonna be maybe the total chump of the week, like Nick was saying.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see a sharp drop off from being ranked 4 to well, he's averaging 20 points a week. I don't think
Mm,
that's going to hold. Projected at 15, that still might be generous. I mean, we'll see. They're playing at Chicago, so they're playing away. Chicago, I don't put a whole lot of faith in, but I also don't put a whole lot of faith in Dallas in general. So
yeah.
uh, we'll see.
Yeah, I would love to see Kenny get chumped as well, but to be honest, I think at this point in the season, it'll be hard for him to get chumped with Puka and Derrick Henry on his team. I think he's got a kind of a nice base. One of them is always going to have a good week,
Well,
I
I
feel
think
like.
Derrick Henry scored all of 4 or 5 points last week, so
But Puka was
it,
still strong. I don't think he gets held back that way two
by
weeks in a row.
both of
He's
them,
too.
yeah. Nah, still
Um,
spite pick. I don't think Kenny's got it. I think it's a bad week for Kenny.
and now let's take a look at your matchup, Nick. It's you versus Ducky. He
Yeah,
got last place last week and was chumped. You got first place last week.
yeah.
But he is projected to beat you. So what's going on there?
Like I've been saying, I don't put a whole lot of stock in projections. I was projected to beat Kenny by I think 20 points or something at one point in week 1, and he came back to win. So I've never really relied on projections. So I mean, he's 8th, I'm 3rd. I think my team is solid. Now, if all of his team booms, then yeah, there's not much I can do about it. But I mean, he's got Khalil Shakir, who generally isn't very good. Is a boomer bust player, has busted pretty much. Well, I mean, the 2 weeks so far. Jalen Waddle, the same. I don't think he's gonna do too great. Jordan Mason, also kind of boomer bust. I'm not. I see the projections. I won't say that I agree with them. I
Mm.
think I'm more than fine this week.
I think one thing you should feel good about is that he currently rosters the 33rd ranked kicker. Um,
Yeah,
so
That's
Um,
crazy because he
so
got
there is a
minus points
team
last
out
week.
there who has both of their kickers or their backup kickers scoring more than Chase McLaughlin has so far this year.
That's incredible.
That is pretty funny to me. I do appreciate that small detail that I overlooked, and yeah, I don't know if that
Um,
makes me feel better because now if I lose, it's going to be funny, but
You're gonna lose because his kicker gets negative points and still beats you. That's gonna be rough.
I do not believe Chase McLaughlin is going to outkick Chris Boswell,
Hmm.
who, when Pittsburgh is and has been basically the king of just kicking field goals to win games.
Pittsburgh has at least 6 field goal games in the last 6 years that I can think of,
That is correct.
and it's
They have won games 15 to
18 to
14 by kicking field
yeah.
goals.
That's insane, and it's always been him. But yeah, no, I
uh,
think I'm probably leaning towards you as well here, Nick. Um, Lucky's top of the ticket looks good, like I was saying last week, Lamar and Bijan, but the rest of his team is not really holding the candle. Jordan Mason, we'll see how it goes. Carson Wentz being the quarterback there. Jordan Mason might be the whole offense if everyone's covering Justin Jefferson. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, you have a pretty safe team, pretty good rankings here. Monra and
Yeah,
Herbie's
the
throwing the ball like crazy. So
one of the slight concerns is if the Baltimore Detroit game turns into a shootout, Lamar could put up big points.
yeah, like what
That
happened
would
in week
not be
one.
good
Yeah,
for me.
that's why
But
yeah,
you got a piece of
yeah,
Monra in that game. So
I do, and that could actually offset the that difference there. So I'm feeling pretty safe. I'm 3-1 third. Kenny's 3-1 fourth, and he beat me. I'm really enjoying the new our updated scoring system that rewards consistency
mm.
because I feel like I've always been a very consistent GM for my team.
Well, it's been mid-tier. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the name.
yeah, guys have convinced me. I do think you can pull this one out, Nick.
Yeah, a
Um,
little bit of Nick on Nick violence this weekend, but I think I come out on top.
mm.
and then let's just take a look at the free agency reports. I actually want to go back in time a little bit to last week's because we neglected to mention it. It has not been the feeding frenzy that it sometimes is in the first couple of weeks of the season because there's not been the big ticket player to sign to your team. I did pick Quentin Johnson up. I don't regret spending the $14 on him and was very surprised to find that no one else wanted him. Um,
Yeah, it's a huge pick
but
there.
it's a
I feel
huge
like
pick.
looking back, I probably should have sent a bid in. I declined at the time. He was somebody that I was looking at. Um, I was hoping to pick him up for free and would have, but you were the only one that bid, so you kind of stole him from me at that point.
And then I thought it was also interesting the Keyshawn Booty ultimately went to Ducky for $6 because I had him as my backup bid for $7. I really was surprised that there wasn't more money getting thrown at those guys, and clearly people ended up changing their philosophy this week, as we'll see,
Oh yeah,
because Matt went hard on Troy Franklin. Um, I'm sorry to say, Nick, that your $1 bid did not do it.
was so close to getting him. I really wanted him, and Matt took him right out from under my nose.
Yeah.
That is
Um,
unfortunate, but you're playing the waivers a lot there.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't interested in anyone last week. This week I was Jaden is questionable, so I wanted to get a quarterback and didn't want to spend really any money on Dan Jones because that's embarrassing. But he's sitting on my bench just in case he gets pulled out before Sunday here.
yeah, I thought it was funny. I mean, Troy Franklin had a good week. I personally didn't even really look his way, but Matt believes in the guy.
Mm.
This might have been the biggest wide receiver purchase we've ever seen in this league, at $37. And not definitely not the biggest overspend because I think Kyle and I both have spent like over $50 on someone that no one else bid on.
Yeah, no,
But
you've definitely done that. But
that was for running backs, and this is I think for
yeah,
wide receiver that's pretty unique. Ducky really likes Io Manor with Tennessee. He was also not someone I'm super interested in because the rookie quarterback needs to prove himself, but he threw 16 that way. I think that's $5 for Daniel Jones with a steal, personally, Snickers. I would have loved to get him on my team. I already have two, and I couldn't really face dropping either one yet.
Hmm. No, and I got Romeo Dobbs, who you just dropped last week, just because he was technically the best person available. But no, just because, I didn't feel too highly about the rest of the guys. And you got Kyler picking up Tua, who's playing Thursday night in Buffalo. It's not snowing in Buffalo yet, but I think he's starting him. I forget who Kyler has at quarterback, but that's his bold decision there.
Well,
Yeah,
Kyler did drop Colston Loveland, who has been a bust
Has
so
not
far,
scored any
so
points yet. Yeah.
and it's also worth noting that Kyler just learned that we changed the scoring format this year.
Yeah.
Didn't set off any alarms when he got two. I don't remember what his record was the first week, but 2 points went towards his team. Um,
Yeah.
it looks like he's 3-1. But this week he said something's up. I have not won 3 times yet.
Hmm.
That
sorry.
looks like who's
Reading
on his bench.
comprehension and context clues for him are hard. Okay, guys,
Yeah, Brock Purdy, and JJ McCarthy. Okay.
He's had a tough break on the quarterbacks, actually. 200 quarterbacks right now.
Man, I don't want him to get too injured again. Tua is my favorite player in the league still, so
football IQ doesn't always translate to real IQ for Kyler.
Yeah. Now, before we close out, I think a lot of us, well, about 6 of us this year are doing the Eliminator Challenge again. Are you in on that, Nick?
I am not, because I decided before that I started that I would forget to do it a week anyway, so I might as well not even try.
that's the spirit.
So, not setting yourself up for disappointment. I like it.
Yeah,
What's we may make you just make your pick this week anyways, but what's interesting is that for 2 weeks,
I could take a
all six
wild pick
people
then, because
through 2 weeks, all six the people who are participating are still in. I don't think that's ever happened before.
That's because you,
Um,
Nate, always pick the Bengals in week one, and
I
we've
already have
been right
my
this year, but still,
I already have my pick locked in. I already know what I'm picking.
all right, let's hear it.
Taking Pittsburgh over New England, baby.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good call.
what's the line there?
Um,
Is it Pittsburgh -1.5 or something like that?
Ooh, all right. Well, if we got Rodgers slinging it, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh -6.5.
Mm, wow. In
Pittsburgh by
Pittsburgh,
a touchdown over New England. Yeah.
Drake May won on the road last week. He can do it again.
Who
The
did he
Miami
play?
Dolphins
He played the Dolphins. Oh yeah, classic high
he
power defense, Miami Dolphins.
barely won, but we were up 14-0. So,
and
All right.
Snickers, you're right on. It is Steelers 1.5 is the line.
wow.
Currently in the Eliminator Challenge on ESPN, 1.5% of selections have been for the Steelers, and 0.1% have picked the Patriots. That's bold.
Wow.
That is a choice.
I ended up picking the Bills this week, which was a popular choice at 26% of those polled. They're going to beat the
Oh,
Dolphins, who have looked
you
awful
can't
this
use
year.
Bills anymore. Yeah.
That's too safe a choice.
Yeah, the Bills are definitely going to win. There's no
Take
way
some
I was going to pick
risks.
them.
I've never made it very far in this challenge, and so I don't know that risks have necessarily paid off for me in the past. But who are
Yeah.
you picking here, Nick? Snickers.
I had a couple back and forths here, but I believe I'm going this week with making it dramatic. I'm picking the Seahawks this week against the Saints. So I don't know if the Seahawks are going to win too many more games, but I know they're going to win this week against the Saints.
Right. Another very safe pick. 16% selected the Seahawks. And do you know what percentage selected the Saints?
I don't know, but I can get that information, and the answer is
It's 0.3%.
0.03. Yep.
Oh, sorry, 0.03%. You're right. I put
Point
the decimal in
zero
the wrong spot.
three. Not a whole lot of faith in the Saints.
The
Yeah.
Aints. Yeah, the Aints are back.
Yeah, believe it or not, actually, the Dolphins were selected more than either the Patriots or the Saints at 0.15%, despite
Well,
being the least favored team this week. So
Well,
there's people out there with a death wish for their eliminator challenge.
if you want a solid middle of the road pick, I'd say probably Tampa Bay over the Jets.
no,
I
yeah.
guess that I don't know how well picked that is, but I think Tampa Bay probably beats the Jets.
I think they beat them
They
by
were
a
the
lot in Tampa.
they were the
against
third
Tyrod
most
Taylor.
favored team this week.
Really? All right. Well, maybe not that middle of the road pick.
Yeah, the Jets were actually the second least picked team. The Browns are the least picked team this week.
Oh, that tracks. Man, my division's just full of winners.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all we got for today. Thanks so much for joining us, Nick.
Oh, always lovely to be
And
on.
yeah, and you lucked out that all of us seem to be favoring you against Ducky this week. So we'll see how that plays out.
Oh, it's not that
And
hard
we'll
to favor
talk.
me.
And we'll talk to all y'all next week.
Oh, well. Thank you.
Nate's been wearing a PR the whole time.